While planning our trip to Mexico, we'd heard lots of horror stories. One person told us we should be armed if we wanted to go there. Others told us only to stay on campgrounds with security. Some told us not to cross the border, and some even told us we wouldn't get back into the USA after visiting Mexico. This is the story of our actual experience of travelling in Baja California in December 2025 and January 2026. Stay tuned to see whether any of these horrors came true. We're Sarah and Ben. Welcome back to Diamonds on Tour.
Good morning.
Hello, lovely people.
Our first morning in Mexico.
Yes, Mexico.
We
arrived yesterday afternoon, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were a bit exhausted. We probably didn't hit the border as early as we would have liked to have done, so that delayed us a bit. And then we didn't anticipate the roads and stuff straight after our border, which was Los Algones. Is that right?
Yeah. So it took us a little while to get down here.
Yeah. So we were planning to go further, but we were just a bit knackered, to be honest. So we just had a quick look on iOverlander and found this campsite, which ends up being a bird sanctuary. It is phenomenal. Oh my goodness, it's just great.
Hundreds of pelicans, herons, ibis, cormorants, eagles, hawks.
Oh, we've seen loads of stuff, haven't we? And of course grackles. There's lots of grackles around. Yeah, just amazing. Last evening was probably better than it is now for wildlife. And then this morning I got up at 6 o'clock and watched the sunrise, and gosh, it was just amazing. Amazing. I felt so privileged to be here.
Spot. And this cost us 300 pesos,
yeah,
which is 12 British pounds for the night. And we're quite surprised. We were expecting there to be lots of snowbirds on the way down here, but actually we're the only people staying on this campground.
Yeah. Oh, for the British amongst us here, snowbirds are people who travel from Canada or from the further north in America to come down to escape the severe winters and to get down in the sunshine. So we're moving on, and we'll be getting to San Felipe, which is about 140 or so kilometres from here.
Yeah,
we'll
that's
get
the
there.
first place we're on the Sea of Cortez coast.
Yeah, so and we'll be getting the shopping in, and because obviously you can't bring a lot of stuff over the border, so we had to get rid of all our food and things, eat our way through it, not get rid of it. And we need to stock up again. So yeah. And we need to get some currency, Mexican currency. So all good, yeah.
The border crossing was super relaxed, very, very friendly. I think, I'm not sure I'm allowed to say this, but they were super friendly once they realised we're not from the US.
Yeah, I'm not sure you should say
Probably
that.
can't say that. But
yeah. But no, he was very excited really by the fact that we were from Britain, and obviously our friends are from New Zealand, so he thought that was very exciting. I think that's more the case really.
We had to get the FMMs at the border, and that's kind of like an ESTA, gives you your visa sort of immigration thing, and they were about 800 pesos, which is £32 each, something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty reasonable.
Yeah, and we didn't have to do anything about extra for the van, other than insurance. We needed to get insurance, which they didn't check that, did they?
No, you don't need it.
No, okay. Oh, you don't need it. You're stupid if you don't have it.
Most people in Mexico don't have insurance.
So, yes, but we didn't need to have the tip form, which is like a permit to bring the van in, because we are only travelling in Baja. So for Baja, you don't need it, and that's it. Yeah.
Right. We're going to leave you with this view of our beautiful campsite, and we're going to get on the road and head south to the sea.
stop was Campo Beluga. Here we met Raphael, who runs this site. He was looking after a huge Bernese Mountain Star dog called Spice. He belonged to a traveller from the US who'd had an accident and broken her knee. She was in hospital and Raphael was looking after her dog and her schoolie for several weeks until she could get them back to the US. A great example of how kind we found the people here to be.
Well, tell me you're in Mexico without telling me you're in Mexico. Look at these. Absolutely beautiful. So many different varieties of cactus. And they're huge. This then is the Pacific coast of Baja California. We're just outside the town of Guerrero Negro, which is the very first town in Baja California south. So this was our spot for last night, and very cool, load of sand dunes in the area, which, look at that. It's very sad. I was very disappointed not to put the drone up last night, but there's an airstrip just less than half a mile in this direction, so we couldn't fly the drone. But when we looked at iOverlander, it said be aware when you're parking down here that the tide comes in, and look at that. We chose a spot which is just back from here, up there on the dry sand, because we could see that this had been wet before, and sure enough we're about right at high tide line really now, according to the tables online. But you can see that the water is, can you see that? The water's coming in extremely slowly, but nevertheless it's coming in. Don't think it's going to come in much further than this today. But what's really lovely is this place is teeming with bird life. There are curlews. You won't see them, but there's a gaggle of curlews in the salt marsh just here. There are herons. There was, I think, some sort of falcon, ibis, and as well as that, it's just beautiful. What a spot to be. Super cool. When we arrived last night, there was a truck. They were actually a French couple, and they're in a converted old French fire engine, and they were parked right here, kind of over where you can see the grass over. They were here, and we said to them, do you know about the tide? And they didn't, and they took the decision to move. It's a good job they did, because they'd have been in 6 inches of water this morning when they woke up. And again, you're never going to see it with this camera, but up here there are about 6 turkey vultures, all swooping round in the early morning sunshine, getting warmed up.
at
Where are we
that.
then, Tara?
We are in San Ignacio, in the little town square. Baja, baby, yeah.
Now, you're not going to be able to see this, but up here, see these cactus on the mountainside up here? I'm sure you can see the vultures circling around in the sky. But here, the cactus have got vultures sat on top of them. Christmas lights are the same everywhere, mostly, except in Mexico they have Christmas cactus lights. Isn't that cool? Well, this is San Ignacio, which is about halfway across the mainland, where the road goes back over to the Sea of Cortez coast. And this is a fabulous little oasis. A lot of the land is very, very dry, very barren, but in here it's a beautiful oasis and great stopping off point on the way across the island. And you'll see there's a place just around the corner where certainly we've seen other YouTubers have stayed over the years next to this water.
Yeah, just here. That's lovely.
Look at that. And there's a few RV parks here. We stayed on a campground, really just because it's nice and easy, and they'd got showers and stuff like that just to catch up with that.
And they had great reviews.
Yeah, really good reviews.
Really, and you can see why.
Yeah, and it was 300 pesos, so about 12 British pounds for the night. Super good value. And what was really cool was it was walking distance to the town. So we went up there and did a little bit of a pub crawl around that place, had some food, which was delicious.
Yes.
Great to meet some locals and have a look round. Real sort of Mexican society. It was absolutely fabulous.
It was really great.
But what we wanted to say was that the campground was amazing. So obviously we were there, Glenn and Amanda were there from New Zealand. We saw people from, a few from the US, from Canada, from Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Germany, Norway,
and of course Mexico.
Yeah, and lots of Mexico. So all vehicles that have been shipped over from Europe mainly,
Yeah.
doing just what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's just magnificent, the amount of people who are doing this sort of a trip. And you get these little places which are well-known stop-off points, and it's like a little community of people all on the road. You get all these sort of knowing waves and stuff from people also from Europe and stuff, because they know what we've done, we know what they've done, all that stuff, this shared experience. Really fabulous.
Yeah. Great. Really great. And onward we go. And hopefully we're going to get to, in the next couple of hours, we'll arrive at a beach that we plan to spend Christmas at. So more on that when we get there. Today, what's the date today, Ben? Is it 21? We'll tell you.
22nd.
22nd today, so only 3 days now to Christmas Day. So yeah, this is our last bit of driving, and then we'll get ourselves sorted for Christmas. Yay! That'd be nice.
Magnificent.
Yeah. So see you later.
Perfect.
Bye.
See you there. Now, if there's one vehicle you're happy to be going really slowly down this extremely steep hill, it's an LPG tanker, a double LPG tanker. He must have 50 tons of LPG there, and we're down to 20 kilometres an hour.
Very steep decline though, isn't it?
Yeah, very steep. And as we reach the beaches of the Sea of Cortez side of Baja, there's a great big queue of campers behind us, all heading in the same place we are. Could you just film the rearview mirror?
Oh yeah.
After driving 1,000 kilometres since entering Mexico, we arrived at Playa Santispac. This is a bit of a mecca for travellers, snowbirds and overlanders in this part of the world. When we arrived, we were greeted with "Welcome to Canada," as the majority of people here have come down from Canada and stay for 4 or 5 months here on this beach. Many have been doing that every winter for years. We stayed here for a week to have some quiet time and to slow down the pace of travel over Christmas. We cooked Christmas dinner on the barbecues, and it was a very memorable time.
Christmas Day. This is our barbecue tea. Fabulous. Yummy prawns. They're beauts, aren't they?
Yeah, they've come out well.
Yeah.
A bit of garlic, bit of butter, bit of white wine. What more can someone ask for on a Christmas day?
Every day, locals come along selling water, bread, meat, fish, and also the typical touristy things like Mexican blankets and other trinkets. There's even a sausage man, and he has a great selection of all sorts of meat products, all made by himself in his own butchers in San Ignacio. You could stay here very easily with this regular supply of all the essentials, but also the local town is only a 20-minute drive away. There are even 2 restaurants and bars where you can spend some time off the beach if you want to. It was really good to relax here and watch the pelicans diving for fish and the other birds doing their thing.
Buenos dias, mon amigos.
Buenos dias, mon
Welcome.
amigos, very much indeed.
And welcome to Baja California.
Yeah.
And the rather splendid Bay of Conception. Now we've been here for a few days now, staying just up the coast for Christmas really. And this is a lovely spot. The Bay of Conception is a fabulous bay on the Sea of Cortez. It's about 35 kilometres long, something like that. So it's a pretty significant chunk of water.
Yeah.
And it's quite nicely protected. So although it's a little bit windy, it's really calm out there. And it looks very, very beautiful.
It does.
And as I said, we've been here for a few days over Christmas, but we're on our way north again in a day or two to go back up towards the border, which is quite a long way. You might not realise the Baja California is, well, it's something like, it's pushing 800 miles long, I think, 780 miles long. Yeah. So it's really big. So it's pretty close to the size of the United Kingdom.
It's not dreadfully wide, I don't think, is it?
No, not wide, but very long and very thin, and takes quite a long time to drive down. Yeah. But it's very lovely, and it's been a fabulous place to spend the festive season, hasn't it?
It's been absolutely lovely.
We've had 30 degrees C.
Yeah.
And loveliness all round.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Right, so I'm going to show you the Bay of Conception again, or this little part of it. And we're going to get back in the van and get back on the road.
It's holding you so you didn't go off the edge.
In this part of Mexico, they recommend that you don't drink the tap water. These places, the Agua Purificada, provide water that is filtered with reverse osmosis machines, and it's top quality and extremely good value. Here we paid about 50 pesos for about 75 litres of water, and it's delivered very quickly straight into our tank. Well, hello.
Hello.
We've just left Santa Rosalia on the Sea of Cortez coast, and we're heading inland now because we're on our way back up towards the US after a week at that beach we're at the run.
Playa
Santispac.
Okay, yeah.
And what a lovely week it was.
Yeah, it was really lovely.
Really cool just to take it easy, relax, do nothing for a week over Christmas. But now we're heading back up because we're actually quite a long way down the Baja California. So it's going to take us probably 5 or 6 days of steady driving to get back up to the US border, and then turn right and head along the south of the US over towards the east coast.
Yeah.
Oh, Baja's been fabulous, hasn't it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's been very relaxing. The weather's been gorgeous. We were on a lovely beach. The sea was really nice. A little bit on the cool side, but it was very nice. And just generally very, very, very relaxing, pleasant Christmas.
Yeah, and in contrast to, we've heard lots of people saying, oh, be careful in Mexico, and one woman we saw said you've got to have a gun, and all this sort of nonsense. Yes. People talking about crime and everything. And honestly, the people are magnificent, super friendly, super cool, absolutely no issues whatsoever. Yeah. You can actually feel safer here than in cities in the US, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I would say so. Very good.
It's a beautiful place, beautiful people. And just generally very lovely.
Yeah.
And there are enormous cactuses.
Yeah. So for New Year, we have decided that we will return to our little oasis in San Ignacio.
That's right.
Which is rather gorgeous. We're going to be spending a few days there to see the New Year in. So we're looking forward to that. And we're only about 35 miles away from it now. So just a little bit more journey and we will arrive.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I think we'll see you there at some point.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah. Well, it looks like I've lost my camping chair to these two beauties. Mom and baby. How are you feeling down there, Glenn?
Feeling a bit low.
It's very cool. We stopped for coffee in this sort of like artisan type place, and these are the seats we've got. Not me. I've opted for the sensible option.
Yeah, you're in the
one.
in the throne.
Yeah, Sarah's gone for the traditional method.
Yeah, I'm in the armchair. Yeah, I'd never get out. Perfect.
Yeah, spot on.
Here in Baja, and we are at a place called San Ignacio. We've stayed for 4 nights on this wonderful campsite, and I thought I'd just give you a quick show around, to be honest, because it's so lovely. So to start with, this is our spot. There's our lovely friends, Glenn and Amanda, and this is where we are. Right, so here, look at this. It's an oasis, really, because you drive along these dusty, dirty roads, and then you hit this wonderful turn, and it's just fabulous, fabulous. Smallish campsite. Some local people, some people from Mexico stay here, but I'd say predominantly it's overlanders that come here. It's on the Overlander site. See the pavement work going off there? These are the lovely showers and toilets, and they are so clean. Really, really nice. So you get, I'll show you in here, fabulous shower, really big space, hot water, place for changing and getting dry there. There we go. And then here, toilets here and sinks. Nice to have a sink to wash hands. Nice mirror too, kept so beautifully clean. Let's show you this. There's the loo. Fabulous. And tents, and I think these are like permanent tents. Very nice. I mean, just look at that. That's really super. You get your own palapas, cabana there. That is just so lovely. Off the ground. Perfect. In every way. Keeps this so neat and tidy. Lovely people. And it cost us 300 pesos for 1 night. An extra 150 if you have electricity. Oh, there's the donkey. Every morning you get woken up by this donkey braying. Oh, it's the first time I've walked down here. Hello? Hello? Hello, pretty donkey. Hello? Hello? You're very nice, aren't you? Hey? Oh, yes. You're quite noisy, though, Javier, I'll tell you. And there's his friend. Rather lovely pony. Hello. And there's free Wi-Fi too from the Starlink dish here, which is great.
Baja California is made up of two Mexican states, Baja California and Baja California Sur, or South. This is the border which is just north of Guerrero Negro. You may wonder why it's named California, just like the US state. Well, until sometime in the mid-19th century, the US states of California, Texas, New Mexico, Utah, Nevada, and most of Colorado were actually part of Mexico. Starting with the 1848 Treaty of Guadaloupe Hidalgo, which ended the Mexican-American War, and only finalised with the Boundary Treaty in 1970, the present-day border has been established. It really is incredible to see just how recently this has taken place. The USA really is such a young country.
You'll know from all our other travels that we rarely stay at campgrounds. We much prefer the freedom of boondocking or just finding a patch of land somewhere that we can make camp. Apps such as iOverlander help with this, and on this occasion it showed us this beautiful little valley in a cactus forest. Before travelling here, we'd been told wild camping wasn't safe in Mexico and that we needed to always stay at proper campgrounds with security. Well, we stayed at several places like this, completely free and miles from any towns or buildings. Needless to say, we didn't have any problems at all, and as usual, in these places we had only positive experiences. Just look at this location. Now, tell me you're in Mexico without telling me you're in Mexico. And I think you have to say the cacti are synonymous with Mexico. And this beauty is actually called the elephant cactus, or correctly speaking, cordon. And it is absolutely massive. I think we're at their biggest, they can weigh 20 tons, and they're just vast. They grow really, really slowly. Absolutely fantastic. And this area here is just full of cacti. It's so lush, so green. Not the desert like we expect to see, but this is just beautiful. We're surrounded by mountains. So that's one beautiful cacti. And then this one, I'm going to show you this one here. If I could just get Ben to turn around, because this is a great example. Now this is, that elephant cacti is specific to the area that we're in Baja. This one too, this is called the boojum tree. It is a cactus type, it's hollow. This one also grows incredibly slowly and can reach heights of, this one can grow to 70 feet tall. And they live, cacti live for absolutely years and years and years, 200 years they can live for. And they require very, very little water, which is a good thing really. Although when we woke up here this morning in this area, it was really quite dewy, quite damp. So I think this is probably why it's so lush here. So that's another type, and it's marvellous. I mean, it has this crazy little flower on the top at some parts of the year. I think that's sort of like August to September normally. Right now we're in January, it's still there. So I'm not sure. Now this one here is called, I don't know what it's called. This one here is a fine example of a collis. Very spiky, everything, all cacti are really spiky, aren't they? So that's fantastic. What else can we see? This absolute beauty is called a barrel cactus. That's a nice straightforward name to remember. And you can see all the leaves, especially around the top, are really a pretty, pretty red colour. So lovely. That's magnificent. This plant is all over the place. It's not a cactus. It's called a yellow lemur, or a bush poppy. That's what we called it? Yeah? Yeah. Or a bush poppy. And there's something giving off an amazing aroma around here, and I haven't worked out what it is. We've got some agave. You don't see too many of these, but there are some agave here. This interesting plant is called a jumping cholla. I'm not too sure why it's called a jumping cholla. Now this area is known for rattlesnakes, scorpions, tarantulas and goodness knows what else. But we're being very careful as we walk around here, watching where we walk. I think we're fairly safe because it's quite fresh at the moment. It is January and this morning we've woken up. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's fresh. There's a freshness in the air, hence that dew I think that we saw. So we're okay, but we are watching where we're putting our feet just in case. This is desert lavender. Obviously no flowers at the moment, but that is desert lavender. The leaf is reminiscent of a sage leaf. We'll see if we can find you some more species and we'll put the name on the screen. We spotted these around, and this is actually the structure of one of the boon trees, and you can see it's like a honeycomb appearance and the hollow interior. That's quite fascinating to see that, really. Perfect pattern. This agave plant, you can see the flower, obviously not looking so healthy now. So agaves only flower once and then die. They leave behind the pups, as they call them, that have dropped onto the ground from the main plant. So there will be new life. I mean, that's a lovely fresh looking pup, isn't it? But yeah, the main plant, they live for the plant lives for between 10 to 20 years. Flowers, dies, pups. In this area, Baja I mean, there are over 200 species of cacti. So we've only seen a few. So to keep our eyes peeled for more. This was our park up last night. How incredible to be able to park up for free in the middle of a cactus forest. Absolutely lush.
Intrusive.
Well, we were just making our way down the highway number 1 over on the Pacific side of Baja. Very, very picturesque road. It's a fabulous drive. And we were going up a pretty steep hill, and the gearbox didn't kick down the gear, so the revs went really, really low. Then the engine management light came on, and the engine basically went into like a limp mode. So pretty bad situation really when you're in a remote part of the world and you've clearly got something wrong with the engine. So we pulled over. Luckily, I've got an OBD port scanner with me. OBD is the onboard diagnostics, and I was able to plug it in, read the fault codes from the ECU, and I could see that there was a turbo pressure fault, which I suspect isn't a problem with the turbo, but because of the gearbox not kicking down at just the right moment, the revs went so low that turbo will have basically gone below boost and produced no pressure and kicked out this fault code. But even having stopped and restarted the engine, the fault code was still there and it was still in the limp mode. But luckily with the OBD scanner, I was able to clear the fault code, and now it's absolutely perfect again. So just a little word of advice: anybody really using any sort of vehicle like this, you really do need an OBD scanner and know how to use it, because that has just got us out of a whole load of trouble. That could have really spoilt the day if we'd been stuck on the roadside here and waiting for probably the Green Angels, I think, to come and help us out.
Yeah. So the OBD port that you got, where did you get that from?
The OBD scanner that I've got was from just from Amazon, I think, or something like that. It's a cheap thing, maybe £20 GB pounds. It can't do very much, so there's lots of things you can do with a more sophisticated one that mine can't, but at least it can read those fault codes and reset them, which is really the thing that will get you out of deep trouble.
Yeah. And you mentioned the Green Angels. Who are they?
The Green Angels are an organisation. It's a bit like we have the RAC in Britain, the Royal Automobile Club, or the AA, the Automobile Association, which is like a vehicle breakdown service, and it's provided in Baja California by the Department of Tourism. And you call them out, they come and sort you out if you're broken down or something. They also provide first aid assistance, which is pretty cool. Completely free service. If they use any parts on your vehicle, you do have to pay for the parts, but their service is free of charge, and it's absolutely tremendous. Really, really cool thing. So back to the super fantastic scenery. Other way. The drive north was fairly uneventful, apart from that limp mode drama. We stayed again at the dunes near Guerrero Negro, avoiding the incoming tide, and we eventually made it through the magnificent scenery to a mountain on this peninsula just south of Ensenada.
Three immediate. Maybe they are wild dogs. I don't know.
Not stopping dogs.
No, we've got the way doggies. Good doggies. The three amigos. Oh, where we've got there. No, here we are.
This is it.
We've arrived. Where'd you go? Oh no, hang on a minute. Just say go off there somewhere, look, babe.
Well, look, it's up to there, yeah.
No, that's because that's the opening to somebody's thing, isn't it? I think it is up there.
Oh, we've reached tonight's park up, and it's in a pretty fine location. What do you think of this? So that is the Pacific Ocean, just outside Ensenada. And that is our parking place for the night. How's that then? That'll do very nicely. And the sun's about to set. So we just got here in time. I wouldn't have fancied getting here in the dark, because it was quite a drive up a rough track to get here. But look at that.
This really is an absolutely beautiful spot overlooking the Pacific Ocean just outside Ensenada. Beauty can come from the remoteness of places like this, but sometimes that beauty comes with a sting in the tail. It's perfect right now, but wait and see what happened the next morning when we tried to drive back down again. Yeah, that bend's a bit worrying, isn't it? Don't you think?
The bend's not so bad because
Okay.
it's it's when like that you slide sideways.
Should we let Glenn? Oh, should we let Glenn go first? I'm very scared now.
Now, we spent the night at the top of the hill here, just up there, and this is the road we came down this morning. It had been raining last night. We had probably 20 millimetres of rain in the night, something like that, and it actually got really, really wet. I'm going to show you these ruts down here. So down here, our wheels slipped into here. You can see here where our tyres were trying to gain traction, and all the roads up here are just mud. And so we decided, when we got down to this point, we decided to abort the drive, because basically we've got another mile to go down here to get back down to the main road. You can see how this road's been wet, and it goes down to this corner here, which is basically a sheer drop over the edge. And so the van had basically no traction coming down here at all, and we stopped at the top of this little section so that we could regather our thoughts and work out an action plan. Now this corner, it's a beautiful view, but this corner, when you're approaching it from up there and you've got absolutely no traction, which also means no brakes. This was quite a scary prospect. See, over the edge here there's a couple of old tyres to help out, but yeah, we didn't fancy that. So what we did was waited just up here, you see where we're parked there, for about 3 hours, I guess. Sun's come up, it's a little bit breezy, so it's dried off, and now the ground I'm walking on now I couldn't walk on properly earlier. I was slipping just in my shoes, so 4 tons of van sliding down it was not going to be funny. So we decided to abort that, wait it out, see if it dried out a bit, and now it has dried. It's a lot drier than it was, and so we're going to be getting on our way now, getting back down this mountain. So I think sometimes the cautious approach is the one to do, because, well, you can understand what the consequences would have been, and we didn't want to go there. So we're packing the vans up now and getting ready to go again.
Right then, so here we go on this journey, start of this journey that's been delayed for, I don't know, 2-3 hours, something like that. 3 hours probably.
Hi.
Heidi ho!
It's just really good, but slow and steady down the hill will be great.
We got you. Sometimes patience is all you need, isn't it?
And actually yesterday when we started coming up the hill, Amanda radioed us and said, are we sure we want to do this? And Sarah said to me, are you sure we want to do this? And I said, yeah, it'll be fine. And of course yesterday it was fine.
Yeah, it was. It would have been no problem.
Yeah,
up
but
and
then
down.
put 25 millimetres of rain on top of it, and
Yes.
it made it an absolute skating rink. We had thoughts of being here for 3 or 4 days, because in 2 days' time there's a big rainstorm predicted. And yeah, that would not have been fun. So we were considering spending, have we got enough food to spend 4 or 5 days up there?
Well, you could have walked down then.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Well, Amanda and Glenn would have been fine, I think, whatever, wouldn't they? But they wouldn't leave us. That was so sweet.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't leave us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, beautiful views of Ensenada as we trickle down this hillside.
I think that's probably Ensenada over there, do you?
Yeah, the furthest
I think
left
so.
bit.
Yeah.
Because it's still actually an hour's drive.
Oh, that can't be Ensenada then, can it? I suppose it could be.
Yeah.
Or it might even be further round, you know.
Now here's an example of this road. Hopefully you can see that on the camera, where the water has washed out basically a stream out of the side. I just need to move over because there's a car coming behind us. We just filled up with water here at the Agua Purificada. 50 pesos for 50 litres. That's £2. So we've got a bit of genuine Mexican road intensity here, or built up town intensity. Look at this guy stuck in the middle of the road, straddling 2 lanes. With a wheel missing. Somebody trying to fix it. Well, I would not want to be him. Just to the north of Ensenada lies Mexico's wine region, the Valle de Guadaloupe. Around 70% of all the wine produced in Mexico is made by the over 150 wineries that operate here. The first one we visited was Vina Cava. Their tasting rooms were built using upturned old ships as the roof, and they make extremely cool buildings.
That's the reason why I love it. I feel like it's a good, easy drinking Sauvignon Blanc, especially for those days where you want to have just a relaxing time. Maybe not too green. That's the name. Yeah, we're not very clever with the names. We try to keep it simple. Change every year, and maybe that's the most consistent thing about this type of wine. It's really inconsistent. You never can have something like the same every year. It's different. No. Everything seems like a different style of wine. And sometimes he's like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And sometimes he's like, well, maybe we need to define the measured items, the measured things. They say like the fermentation.
Right, so that we can drink.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
We try to just make something with our own style, with our own identity, and we find a good way to produce a good style of a rosa wine with Grenache. That's great that we decided to use in this one. 100% Grenache. It's a light version of a rosa wine. Very light, very easy, very fruity nose. A lot of strawberry, raspberry. I don't know. I like the way that we produce this Grenache because it's not really tart or it's not really sweet.
Yeah.
So it makes it feel like something very elegant on the middle. Yeah. With color, you can tell like it's more complex. It feels like more full body. Complex but not complicated. More layers of flavor but not overpowering, not super
very
intense.
nice.
Talking about the red wines, maybe 6,000 bottles last year. It is the second bestseller, just behind the Sauvignon Blanc, the first one. Because
So this is the Vina Cava winery, and we've just had a really nice experience in there, tasting wine. And what's interesting is actually this place was founded by a British guy, Phil. Can't remember his surname. How lovely is this? Really good. Okay then.
This is recycled irrigation piping.
Oh, yeah, so it is. Isn't that clever?
Yeah, fabulous.
Very artistic. That's very artistic. After Vina Cava, we visited Magoni. Excellent wines, but this one is a far bigger operation. The tasting experience was good, but we preferred the more personal and authentic experience at Vina Cava.
Cabernet Sauvignon. When you like the other Sauvignon Blanc, it's different. Right?
It's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's very nice.
I'm happy for it.
Well, this is a really smooth road in Valle de Guadaloupe, which is the wine region just outside Ensenada, and we're actually on our way out of Mexico today.
Yeah.
We've decided to leave a day earlier, mainly because the place we were going to be visiting tonight is not open today. So we just thought, yeah, well, let's just get to the border and get out. This has been fabulous, though, this place. This is the wine region. And we visited a couple of wineries yesterday that were super.
Sorry.
Can you tell this road isn't very level?
Oh, God. Oh, dear. I'm trying to hold it steady.
Yeah.
The camera, I mean.
There you go. Yesterday, we were stopped, or Glenn and Amanda were stopped in this road by a couple who basically said, have you got anywhere to camp? and invited us all round to their house. So we spent last night in their garden, and it was absolutely tremendous. They're a kind of an American couple, in that they've spent their working lives in America, but he was from, in the United States. He was from Cuba and managed to get out of there when he was 12 years old, and she is actually Mexican from this region. And they've spent their working lives in the US and now retired to here, to Mexico.
Yeah.
Fascinating couple. She was a dentist, he was an orthopedic surgeon.
Manuel and Gabrielle.
Absolutely beautiful people, so friendly, welcoming, and just magnificent. Really, really cool. So it was great to spend some time with them and learn a bit about the area and the country. And one of the things...
We learned about this road.
Yeah, one of the things they told us was that 3 weeks ago this road was perfectly smooth. But what happens is the first time there's any rain, it just gets utterly destroyed and ends up like this.
It's just a series of potholes.
Yeah.
And smooth, rounded potholes because it's mud. And but yeah, potholes nonetheless. And today they're filled with rainwater because it is actually raining quite heavily today. But my goodness me.
And we've probably got about another hour on, another mile on this.
Yeah.
Before we reach the main road. So we just wanted to share that with you, and we're getting a bit shaken and stirred.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see you on the road up towards the border, or we might see you later today in the United States.
Yeah, we're crossing at Tecate.
Yeah.
So we didn't come in that way.
No.
So we choosing to go out of a different border. So yeah, we'll see what that's all about.
And the border's an hour's drive from here, so it won't take us long to get there.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Fabulous.
See you in a bit. Just to keep you updated, we got through the border at Tecate very, very easily.
Simplest border crossing of all time, I think.
Honest to goodness. I've flown into British airports and had more trouble at passport. Well, had no trouble at passport controls, but they've asked more questions. So it was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. The guy took our passport, scanned it, checked the vehicle, registration plate, back and front, and that was it. They didn't come in the van.
Nothing at all. So we checked up on how much wine we were allowed to bring in and food, things like eggs and meat and stuff. Yeah. And we'd very diligently made sure we were totally compliant with all of that.
We did.
Absolutely no checks whatsoever. Not even a question, let alone a physical check.
That was absolutely bonkers, yeah.
We're here, it's January 2026 right now.
Yeah.
And we hear all sorts of stories about what's going on at border controls into the US.
We do.
And in our experience, we've done, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5 border crossings now.
Yeah.
And absolute no issues whatsoever at any point. No difficulty, nothing. No questions, no checks.
Well, that was the only one that didn't ask us any questions. We've had questions at other ones, but not questions you'd expect to be asked. Yeah. And everybody was everybody's been delightful. In fact, this chappie at this one, there was no communication really. I think he did say, I said hi, and I think he said hi back. And then I think that might have been all we said.
A little bit of bureaucracy, and he said, "Have a good day," and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
So we're back in the US.
Yeah, we are.
And so this is Southern California.
Yeah.
And it is quite spectacular, very rocky.
This is San Diego County now, apparently.
Yeah.
So and we're just heading east. We've got another. About 80 miles altogether to go east before we settle for the day. think we're going back to some BLM land that we found before we went into Mexico. So we're going to sort of stay there the night and then regroup, do whatever. Yeah. So, oh, and of course we've got to stop to get some food in because we've got rid of it all. Not that we had a lot to get rid of. We worked our way through it over the last few days. So anyway, all's good, and the sun's still shining, which is lovely. Yeah, I'll show you what we're looking at. So that's San Diego, people. This is very rocky area, isn't it? Some amazing rock formations, actually.
Yeah, it's a desert region.
Yeah, it's quite strange.
Well, we started this video asking whether it would be safe to visit Baja California in our camper van. People had told us we'd need to stay on campgrounds with security. People even told us we needed to be armed with guns because of the lawless people down in Mexico. It's human nature to focus on the bad news stories. One negative headline or thumbnail can generate thousands of clips, but for every one of those, there'll be thousands of experiences which are positive and don't, though, generate all of the clicks on the internet, so you just don't hear about them. We camped many times on open land, miles away from anything, and we had absolutely no problems at all. All we experienced at those places was the natural beauty, and we camped in some really tremendous places. We had no issues at the border, and all the experiences we had were of kind, generous, friendly people who either just wanted to help or just wanted to ask us a few questions, get to know us, and enjoy that we were spending time in their country. We'd also been warned of the United States border getting back into the US from Mexico. Again, absolutely no issues whatsoever. We weren't asked to surrender any social media information. We weren't asked any dodgy political questions. None of that. Just plain sailing, just the basic questions, and we sailed through the border. So after our actual experience of driving 1,000 kilometers down to Playa Santispac and then another 1,200 kilometers back up through Baja to the US border and having absolutely no problems whatsoever, the answer to the question, is it safe to drive our camper van into Baja California, Mexico, is an emphatic yes.